Hello, it's Business Growth with Riri on IG, aka Instagram. Hello, good evening everybody. And on today's session, I will be talking about all things Copyright 101 and words that sell. So I hope you've all had a great day. I'm sure some of you, I can see people joining. Thank you, Rita, Anthony, my namesake, hello. So on Monday, it was my birthday and there was a blackout, wasn't there? Instagram disappeared, Facebook disappeared, WhatsApp disappeared. And Kim, thanks for joining. Thank you, ladies, thank you very much. And it was crazy, wasn't it? It was really, really crazy. Everything shut down. But everything shut down at around 5 p.m. So I think that a lot of people had already wished me a happy birthday. So, you know, I'm 1 year older and we thank God for life. So today I'm going to be talking about Copywriting 101 and words that sell. So I'm hoping that everybody that's joining me now is a business owner, and in some kind of capacity you have to write copy. So let me think about when I have to write copy. So I write a lot of copywriting for when I'm writing proposals. I write copywriting for when I'm writing on my website, for social media, like for social media communication, for, you know, thank you very much, Rita. Thank you, I can see you there, thank you. A few days after my birthday, but it's still my birthday week, so don't mind celebrating. So I'm talking today about copywriting and, you know, when we use it. So before I even carry on, copywriting, any of you that are here, what do you define as copywriting? Because people may not actually, you know, kind of like know what it means. Do you have, what's your own meaning of copywriting? When people say that, oh, I need to write copy. Thank you for joining, Kruby Skincare, I see you there. So copywriting, let me just say it because of time, it's the act of writing to sell in a persuasive manner. So for example, when I'm writing my blogs, I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm giving stories, I'm sharing things that have happened to me. I'm not really trying to write in a persuasive manner, but when I'm writing copy, when I want people to, yes, write to sell, exactly. You're writing because you actually want people to take action. You want them to buy your products, really. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go through some key things that you need to be aware of. This is what we call Copywriting 101. So I'll just give you a bit of background about me and when I started copywriting. I've been a business owner for the past, nearly coming up to 10 years in January. But before that, I've worked for companies. When I was in the UK, I worked for a publishing company called Pride Magazine. Also worked for another publishing company called FT Magazine. So I guess that was my early years of writing copy. And then I moved into the BBC London. And you can imagine that BBC London, there was a lot of, you know, we had to write copy for a lot of things, our websites, our communication material. So I was writing copy there. But even at the BBC, a BBC organization isn't really a sales organization as such. So we weren't really writing copy to sell in BBC. It was for information. Okay, so it was when I came to Nigeria. I came to Nigeria in 2008. What am I talking about? 13 years ago. Yes, copywriting is writing to sell. So I started copywriting way back, working for certain companies, and I was also part of a movement like a NGO. So we had to write a lot of copy there. We were doing a lot of cancer awareness, all sorts of different things, and I was the publicity person in that organization, so I was writing a lot of copy there. Hello, Official One, bravo, thank you for joining too. So this is when I started writing copy. But as you know, we want to write copy because, as you said, we want to sell. And nowadays, we're writing a lot more copy online, aren't we? Because online marketing has taken over traditional marketing. Back in the day when I was doing a lot of marketing, we were doing mail shots, we were doing flyers. I don't know if anybody has been in business for that long. We weren't really on social media. We weren't really, writing websites. That was how we were doing it back then. But I'm sure that you've all noticed that we now have to write copy online. And And writing copy online is a bit different from when you're speaking face-to-face with somebody. Because when you're speaking face-to-face with a person, you're seeing all their body language, you can talk to them, you can sort of, you can gauge how they're feeling, and then you do all your sales pitch. But online, there is a lot of things that you need to do a bit differently. But this is not just online. What I'm going to be talking about today is not just online, it's just the principles of copywriting. Now, the first principle is that whatever you're selling, whether it's online or face-to-face, in-person writing, you have to be an expert. Point one, principle one is that you have to be an expert in that thing that you are selling. Because have you ever gone into a shop, maybe you want to buy a computer or you want to buy a TV, something like that, and you see a salesperson and you're asking them about the product and they have no idea about the product they're supposed to be selling. What is it? Isn't that off-putting? It's off-putting for me. So you can imagine a customer in your shoes coming to you, asking you about your product, and you don't really know the insides and outsides of your product. So the first thing in terms of getting your mindset for copywriting is that you have to know everything about your, like your product, your market share, facts, statistics. It will help you when you want to write copy. So that is principle number one. So principle number two, with regards to copywriting, is that you have to know your target audience. I'm sure you know that when you're writing for, say, an SME person, it's not the same audience like if you're writing for teenagers or for mothers. You're going to be using different language. There's certain language that you're going to be using for your different audience. So you need to know the target audience. For example, young people, maybe people in their 20s, there's certain language that you may use for them that you wouldn't use for somebody, say, in their 50s. So you've got to really know your target audience. Another important thing is know their buying motives. Why do they buy the certain things that you're trying to sell? And who do they normally buy from? So principle number two in copywriting is all about doing your research. You don't want to start copywriting until you have really, know your product inside out and done your research in the marketplace to know what is going on. And that is the same for when you are writing a proposal or a pitch. You have to really show the prospect that you really know your onions. Okay? Does this make sense? If it's making sense so far, please let me see those hearts so that I know that I'm not speaking to myself. So as I said, principle number two, know your audience before you start writing your copy. And I'm talking here about copywriting 101, the things you need to know. Okay, does this make sense? I hope it does. So principle number three, in terms of copywriting and what is going to grab attention, is your headline. Thank you very much for the hearts. I see the hearts. The headline is the key thing that people see, even before anything else, okay? So sometimes, especially online, you've got to test things. So there are certain things I say in my training when I'm teaching on copywriting. I say that one of the things that you can do is ask a question. These are things that grab attention. Ask a question, okay? Create urgency in your headline. Share a result. 95% of people that have used my product have done this and have done that, So these are the type of things that you do to draw your audience in, because they're not going to read your copy until they see that headline. So that headline is the first thing that they see before they think to themselves, okay, what is Riri selling? What is Nkem selling? What is Official One Bravo selling? What is Kruby Skincare selling? They want to see the headline. So the headline has to be intriguing. The headline has to sort of, when I see a headline, it has to be irresistible, because guess what, everybody? There's a lot of information going on right now, isn't there? There's so much information. We're in the information age, information overload, okay? Information is everywhere. So if I see something that does not interest me, guess what I'm going to do? I am going to move on, aren't I? Sorry, I hope that connection was okay. I'm going to move on. Can you all still see me? Because I thought that there was a connection problem. So your headline has to be grabbing. Your headline has to make people stop in their tracks and say, wow, what is this thing? What is it? And then, you're going to be, sorry, I think I'm having problems here. Let me just check my internet. Can you all see me? It keeps going off for some reason. Anyway, so that is the third principle. Yes, intriguing line or topic. That headline has to make people, because Because when you think about it, if you look at those billboards outside, it's the ones that have an intriguing headline, isn't it? That, you know, you look at and you think, wow, I want to know what this is about. I want to know what this event is about. So your headline has to pop. Now the next thing, that's what you have, that's principle number 3. Now principle number 4 is actually writing your copy. And there are different experts that give different, you know, stages of what you should do, but I'm just going to give you a standard one. There are all types of ways. So the first thing that you need to do when you're writing that copy is you have to have an opening headline of, you know, what you're selling or what you're, you know, what you're writing about. And then after you have that opening headline, then you describe the problem. Maybe for me, SMEs that are trying their best to sell. Let me just check for some reason there's some kind of, okay. So I'm sorry about this. You can see me. Okay, great. All right, so describe the problem, cast a vision. Because sometimes when you're selling to people, they're not just, if I'm buying hair products for this hair now, I'm not just buying the product for the hair, or you know, somebody's selling me a moisturizer. I'm buying the hair product because I want to look good. I want everybody to see my hair, and I want to be able to flick it. You know, I've been doing videos saying that I haven't been able to flick this afro, but I want to be able to rock my hair. So it's not just about the actual product, it's actually how it makes the customer feel. And I'm going to be talking a bit about that a bit later, because I'm sure you all know that when we're buying, we're not just buying because we're buying logically, we buy or rationally, we're buying emotionally. And I'm going to be talking about that a bit later. So I'm talking about principle number 4 now. Cast a vision, then talk about your competitive advantage in the copy, because at the end of the day, there's so many other people that are probably doing what you do. So what is your unique selling point? What can you offer the customer that other people can't? Then you talk about the benefits and the features. And remember, customers want to know what's in it for them. What I see in copy is that a lot of the time people are talking about the features. Oh, it's long, it's black, it's, you know, customers, you know, that's fine. But what's more important to your audience is what is in it for them. What is it going to do for me? That is very important to note. And then after you've talked about all these things, then you can start talking about what your company does, how long your company has been in business, you know, all that good stuff. Now what you have to do, especially if you're writing copy online, you're going to have to deal with objections. So what I would say to you to do is write a whole list of objections, of things that people normally ask you, even if it's face-to-face, as in, how long will it take for me to get it? How long will I be able to start this thing? You know, any kind of objection that you've actually ever had with selling your product, write it on a piece of paper and make sure that you address it in your copy. Because when you're writing online, some people will not ask questions. They'll see it, and if you haven't addressed the objections, they're going to move elsewhere. So always make sure that you address your objections in everything that you're writing about, okay? The feeling you leave your customers to tell about your products, okay? So that's what you do. Those are all the things that you do in your body of your copy. Now, it's very important to edit your copy. And the thing is, there's no, you know, when you're writing information, just like how it was when we were at university, I don't know about you, but I remember writing dissertations like 10,000 words and things like that. What you can do is edit your copy, and then that's principle number 5. And then principle number 6, stop editing, leave it and go away. Because sometimes people get so, they get so agitated with writing copy that they think that it has to be perfect there and then. And have you noticed, I don't know for any of you that write, but I know with me with writing, sometimes when I start writing something and leave it and come back, ideas start to come flowing in. So when you're writing copy, you don't have to finish it all at once, is what I'm saying. Leave it for a little bit, you know, stop, leave it, and then come back to it. If you can, because some people do that, they actually get an editor or they get somebody to review their copy. Now, there's a tool, I think I mentioned this last week too, Grammarly. It's a very good tool. I think they have a free version of it and they have an advanced where you can actually put all your copy inside this app called Grammarly, and it will help you, you know, with your grammar and things like that. Okay, I hope that the connection is still okay. All right. Now, the final thing is take a good look at it again and make sure that, you've dotted your I's and T's and everything looks good before you put it through. But just like all of you said, that copywriting is a sales document, and it has to look, it has to be excellent, it has to be grammar free, it has to be, because if you're writing a proposal, say to a company, you're not the only one writing, aren't you? There's probably like 10, 15, 100 people that sometimes pitch in for the same thing. So you have to make sure that your pitch or your copywriting is excellent, okay? And sometimes what I do is I have two versions of a copy. I'll write one version and I'll write another one. Completely different. Similar things inside, but just, maybe the language is different. And I'll see which of the copy, especially when I'm doing Facebook ads, I'll see which of the copy is attracting more attention. Because when you think about marketing, we have test A and we have test B. And it's the same for copy. You can check your copy and see which copy is drawing more sales. And if one version is working better, use that one, okay? And that's the principle in marketing. You have to keep testing. Nothing is definite. If you're writing copy and you're not getting people making inquiries or the sales, look for the other version and see which one is better performing, okay? And go with that. So I hope that this is making sense. I hope that you can still see me properly and it's clear and all of that good stuff. Now, another thing that I want to tell you about copywriting, I'm going to be talking to you about words that sell. But before I go on to talk about words that sell, I want to let you know, and I'm sure you've probably heard this before, but we as human beings, we don't just buy logically, do we? We don't just buy rationally. We don't just think of something and think, just logically, okay? We buy emotionally too. So we buy we have emotional needs, and then we use logic to justify what we want to buy. For example, if I was buying this top, logically I'd say, oh, I need a nice top. I need a top for, going out, and I have a budget. This is the amount I want to spend, But emotionally, I'm saying to myself, I want to look good at the next, networking event. I want to look successful. I want to look the part. So what that means is that when you are writing copy, it doesn't all have to be logic. You have to use emotional words, because emotional words are persuasive. Emotional words make people stop in their track and actually feel that there's a connection. And I've tested it myself. When I've written words that don't have that much emotional words in it, they don't sell as much as words that are emotional. Now, at this point, I'm going to talk you through 5 keywords. There's so many emotional words, but these are the 5 ones that I use a lot, and some of you probably use a lot, and it's important to keep, bringing up those emotional words. And the first one is you. People want to know that they are important. Human beings love themselves, don't they? There's a book that I read about how to win and influence people. And one of the things that I read in that book was a principle about people loving their name. When you call somebody, when I call in Ken, people just love their name. Oh, hi, Riri. People just think, oh, you're talking to me. So when you are using emotional words, make sure you use the word you. You are the most important person. You can have this today. You can buy this today. Try not to use me as in I, myself. People don't want to know about you. They don't care. They want to know about how you can help them. Okay? So use you a lot when you're writing your copy, okay? Another word that is important is free. In this day and age, everybody likes free. When you see free, you just jump up. So even if you're selling something, if there's an additional thing that you can give to that person, another word instead of free is trial, bonus, sample. People love that. These are emotional words that think, okay, because in this day and age, nobody wants to part with their money and have that risk and think, oh, if I buy this thing from any of these people, is it really going to work for me? So when you are selling whatever it is you're selling, see what you can offer that is free. And especially online, people love that. You have an offer and you say, oh, I'm giving a bonus and I'm giving this, I'm giving free this and free that. And you just see that people are more interested because you're also offering something for free. Another thing I'm talking about emotional words now, words that sell, is new. That word new is an emotional word that attracts people, because when you say something is new, people think, oh, I'm the first to try this. This is like great, this is new. think about mobile phones. You know, when the latest phone comes up, you see people queuing, don't you? They're queuing because they want to be the first people to have the latest phone. They want to show off to their friends and say, oh, guess what? I've got the latest iPhone or Samsung or whatever it is. But people, human beings, we love new things, you know? So as in your copy, if you can use words like new, it really does draw people in. Now, another word that sells is the word now. Now, like now, you can get this now, you can get this today, you can, you know, because, you know, people are busy. They don't want to think, oh my God, how long is this going to take? Well, you know, you've told me about this fantastic thing. When can I get it? You know, so people want to know that they can get it today, now, not next year, not next week, not tomorrow, not in 3 hours, not in 1 hour. They want it now. So use that word. It's an emotional word and it's a persuasive word, and it helps you with your copy. And remember, because of time, I'm just talking about, I'm just using 5 today. There are so many more words that sell that maybe I may use it next week. I may bring out some more. But another one is secret. You know, you see people that say secret ways to do this, secret ways to do that. It's intriguing. People think, okay, secret. Is that a secret way to do, you know? So people love it when they feel that they may be the only ones that are going to find out about that, you know? It's an emotional word that you can use to draw in your audience. I hope that this is making sense. I hope that this is making sense. Is it making sense? Can you hear me properly? Is it making sense? Is it making sense? Can you still see me and hear me? Let me see those hearts if you can. So what I'm trying to summarize now is that with copywriting is an art, and it does take practice. Practice makes perfect. Nobody wakes up and suddenly becomes a copywriter like that. Nobody wakes up and is able to persuade people to buy their products, especially with writing. It takes skill, it takes time, it takes practice. But these are tools that I was sharing out with you today. These are the principles that you need to know. These are the foundations of writing copy that sells, because that's what it is about. It's copy that sells, all right? Does anybody have any questions? Because you know this is just a 20-minute show, that I do every Thursday. Does anybody have any questions about copywriting and words that sell? As I said, I've just listed out 5 words, and there's a lot more words that sell that I may talk about next week. But what I've been highlighting to you today is the principles of copywriting. And let me just summarize, because I always like to summarize. So remember, you've got to be an expert on your products, and you've got to know your onions, okay? You've also got to know your target audience and what are their buying motives. Why are they buying? You've also got to write headlines that create curiosity, that are grabbing, that people, you know, that stop people in their tracks, that make them think, oh, I want to know what that's, you know, I want to know more about that. You've got to write copy in a format with an opening headline, describe the problem, cast a vision so that people can really, you know, dream. You know, we're all dreamers, really. Talk about your competitive advantage, what your unique selling point is, and the benefits are more important than the features. And then bragging rights, you know, testimonials, what you've done for other people. And as I said, especially when you're dealing with online copy, you've got to think about all the possible objections. How do I make my customers feel good, like use emotions to sell my skincare products? Well, again, with skincare products, you're going to have to use those emotional words. What are the words, you know, that you can use, like, you know, things that make people in your skincare think, like fresh skin, beautiful, all these type of things that women. What I would say to you is that you know your target audience, and you have probably had conversations with people. I would say to you that you should brainstorm all the words that even make you smile, you know, make you smile, and write them down, and then start to brainstorm it, then write them down, and then start to write your copy. So think about the people that, you know, you generally sell to. Think about the things that you say to them. Think about the things that make women, because I'm sure your audience may be women in whatever age they are, and then start to find those words. But it's something that you have to sit back and do. It's not something that just comes off the head. Sit down, look, and another thing you can do too is look at what your competition are doing, see the words that they use, and just brainstorm the words that you know, and then narrow them down, okay? Career women, business women, and moms, okay, yes. And then, you know, think about the conversations you have with friends when they're buying things. People want to look. One thing that I know about skincare is youthful. When you use that word youthful, it's not that people want to, but when you use the words like youthful, that's one word I know that draws attention. It's like, oh, youthful, I want to look youthful, you know. This is just one word off the top of my head that I know can attract your type of audience. But I'm sure that there are other words. I'm not in your market, but that word youthful is a word that you can start with in terms of selling your skincare product, okay? Does anybody else have any questions? Anyone else? But as I said to you, with copywriting, it's not a rushed job. It's an art. You know, like when you're drawing something. If you're drawing a painting, for example, painters, artists, how long do they take? They take a while, don't they? So, you know, it's not something that you want to rush and do within like a 30-minute thing. It's something that you practice, and the more you practice, and the more you start to see results, the more you start to see engagement and people really being attracted. You know, one thing we say in marketing is that if something is working for you, keep doing it, keep testing to make sure that it's getting the right attention. But it is practice. There's actually a book that I have. Just bear with me. So I think I got this book from Latana in Lagos, but this is a good book. I would recommend it. It's called The Ad Week Copywriting Handbook, and it's by Joseph Sugarman. It's a really good book. It's quite thick, so you might have to, you know. And then I have another book which is called Words That Sell. I think I got this from the UK, but I think you can get it on Amazon. So these are two books I would recommend for those of you that really want to get stronger in your copywriting. Do I have any other questions before I tune off? Now, before I go, I just want to say something to you. Last week, or Monday, was my birthday, as you all know, and I had a special offer out, and it's an online course called How to Pitch to Win the 7-Figure Contracts and Above. And I had a special offer running on the 4th of October. But because of the outage, I said to myself, I'm going to keep it. So it's a new course. See, I'm using the language. It's a new actual course, and I'm giving away, apart from the 7 lessons in the course, I'm giving it away 3 free bonuses, which include free coaching, which includes me going through your pitch to see, you know, to go through your pitch with you so that you can deliver it to me before you go out there and deliver it, and I will also review your proposal. So if you want to take advantage of this special offer, go to my bio and get it now. See, I'm using all these power words. Go to my bio and get it now, or you can send me a DM and we can chat more about it. But the free items that I have put out there as a special offer, they are disappearing soon, so you may want to grab that now. But it's called How to Pitch to Win That 7-Figure Contract. So for any of you that want to speak with confidence, be present, present your pitches to get noticed, improve your pitching, increase your chances of winning those super fat contracts, then you want to join this online course, and you know, it's in my bio. So if you want to get it now today, chat to me or go into my link in bio and you will see it. So as I said, in this season, for the rest of October, all the topics I'm going to be talking about is to do with pitching and presenting. So next week, join me for another edition of Business Growth with Riri, and I'm just looking to see if there's any more questions about writing a proposal. If I haven't addressed any of the questions, you can always send me a DM and we can continue the conversation in DM. But thank you very much for joining. I'm just looking out now to see if there are any more questions. And I just want to thank all of you that have joined today. Once again, I am Riri Okoye. I'm a business skills coach for SMEs that want to grow their business. You know, we know what the seasons are right now, and we have to find creative ways, don't we, in this season to grow our businesses. So I'm there to help you. Okay, so thank you for joining, and I look forward to seeing you again next week, Business Growth with Riri. I cannot see any questions, but if you think about any other questions, please come back to my DM and I will try my best to answer them. But for now, take care and enjoy the rest of your evening. Okay? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, take care.